Efrem. We understand.
Why a story or a series about Martin Luther King and Malcolm X now? What's different about this one?
Oh, wow. I mean, there's, the urgency of now is why we're doing MLKX.
Innocent black men are in prison.
How many more have to be slain for America to say enough is enough?
It's so relevant when we look at what's going on in our country right now.
We can change the course of history.
When there's a concerted effort to silence us, to ban our books, to erase history. Malcolm, Martin, Betty, Coretta, their messaging, their commitment, their lives, doesn't even feel like a period piece. It feels contemporary, it feels now, and feels needed.
This is our reality now.
Gina, what was the biggest surprise going into this in terms of the storyline? I feel like there were so many things as I was watching. I was like, I had no clue. What was the biggest surprise for you?
Honestly, there were so many things. We went into this believing we knew a lot. And before one word was written, we put together a think tank of incredible journalists and authors and scholars and activists and religious leaders. And coming out of that, we were just floored by how much we didn't know.
We have been oppressed.
We are forced to ride the back of a bus so a white passenger could sit.
For both of you, was there an extra effort to humanize them even more? Because I think with distance, we almost deify them, and I, forgot just how young all of them were.
Yes, I mean, definitely wanted to show their humanity, their fears and challenges, and their level of commitment. Martin was 26 years old when he led the Montgomery bus boycott, and we didn't want to cast an actor 20 years older than that moment. We cast an actor who's in his 20s.
Be careful. Evil looms over everything.
So you play Coretta Scott King. Tell me about who you envision her as in relationship to Dr. King, certainly more than a wife.
She definitely is more than a wife. She is his partner and his equal. I am convinced wholeheartedly that he wouldn't be the man he was and wouldn't have done the things he did had he not had the foresight to have Coretta as his partner in life. So I'm glad that, I'm part of this project that is bringing light to the women and, what they have done in order for these men to be who they are.
Jamie, what was Betty Shabazz's role? What did you find in preparing for it?
Malcolm wouldn't have had the longevity he had without her. And I think she made it her duty to make space for him and to take care of him in a way that he can last, because if he can't, then the movement, what he was fighting for, was done.
To fight against oppression by any means necessary.
Many people think, well, I know about Malcolm X. I know about Martin Luther King. Why now?
It's a dangerous place to get to when we feel like we've exhausted revering or telling our history. I think we should be wary of that.
We're in this together. How can I help you?
It's not about the greatest hits. It's not about just this speech or this march. We're getting the in-between. We're really getting to see them fully as human beings that come with insecurities and questions and doubt, right? All of what makes them to be the men and women that we come to learn about. And in doing so, I hope that people will walk away seeing themselves in Martin, Malcolm, Betty, and Coretta.
I believe you're going to do great things.
We must be a little daring.
Going into this, did you have a hope for what you want this to do for audiences?
So often, what we're taught that you need to choose between one or the other. Who do you align with, Martin or Malcolm? And what we know is that you need both, that they were two sides of the same coin, that they both had the same desire for not only civil rights, but human rights and the dignity and citizenship of us.
I don't think you can understand who Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was and his legacy without understanding the legacy of Malcolm X.
To show that we need both of the men, both of these women, they were all four just integral to us and to the movement.
What you're doing is just. Never question that.
Because then we can find the Malcolm, Martin, Betty, Coretta within ourselves.
Brothers and sisters, are you ready?